If you're just tuning in, this channel is all about business owners, entrepreneurs, experts, all sorts of tips around sales, marketing, personal branding, automation, AI SEO and GEO, and the future of search. So my name is Dean Whitby, and we help business owners and experts, ambitious ones, specifically to become in-demand, visible, and with inbound leads. And we do that through our AI SEO, Ask Engine Optimization, and Generative Engine Optimization techniques, and also our personal branding. And as part of that, LinkedIn marketing, social media, and video editing. So today I want to talk about mindset, which is another topic that we cover in this area. And one of my inspirations and mentors is Joe Dispenza. And I really like Joe's stuff and can really relate to that. I think entrepreneurs specifically, but also in sales, those kind of high targets, lots of pressure, often you find that habits that they have and trauma, etc. And I think Joe has a really good way of bringing people from their mind, which is a very crazy space, into the heart, and how to control that and be very intentional about changing the subconscious and how we all act to consciously act in a way that relieves pressure and stress. So I want to play a video of Joe Dispenza's, and then I'm going to talk through how that relates, or my take on that, because I think it'd be really valuable. Most of the viewers within this channel are either building a business or probably in sales or marketing. So hopefully this helps you. Here's the video.
The body's so objective that it does not know the difference between the real life experience that's creating that emotion and the emotion that person is fabricating by thought alone. To the body, it's exactly the same. So the body's believing it's being chased by a predator. The body's believing it's in an offensive situation where it has to attack. The body's believing it's constantly needing to be ready, and it's constantly out of homeostasis, it's constantly out of balance. It's in emergency, it's in fight or flight. It's a different system in the autonomic nervous system where you're stepping on the gas, where you're mobilizing enormous amounts of energy for some threat, some danger, real or imagined. But that thought and that feeling, the image, the emotion, the stimulus response is conditioning the body to automatically be the mind of that emotion. So then now the body becomes conditioned and addicted. Now this gets to be a problem because people get addicted to their own thoughts.
It becomes their personality, right?
It is their identity. And they become addicted to the life they don't even like, because the response to the coworker, to the boss, to the ex is actually giving them a rush of energy, a rush of adrenaline, and they're associating that rush of energy with some problem or condition in their life. And now come time to change and manage your attention and manage your emotion, it's no different than breaking addiction to anything. There's cravings. The body wants to return back to how it's been conditioned, into the familiar past, into the known.
I love that from Joe. That's so powerful. And if you think about that, we all have habits that we follow, and there's reasons for that. The subconscious runs the life of most of us. So, what we think is often not what happens, and so we just follow these kind of patterns, and within that comes self-sabotage, and within that comes confidence, and then low confidence, and being kind of impacted by your surrounding, by your environment. I think with entrepreneurs specifically, it's such a difficult thing to be an entrepreneur, to build a business, to have that struggle that you have to pay the rent, you have to look after your families, etc. And it's tough. There's lots to learn. There's so many different areas to business, So I think we kind of getting to this space as entrepreneurs where we just, we follow this pattern, and we think we've always got the foot on the pedal, and it's always, reaching for that next thing. But sometimes we question why the next thing is not coming and is not working for us. And often that comes down to your mindset. So if you think with an entrepreneur, you're always hunting, you're always looking for that next thing. And so your mind is living in that kind of state of fear. It's, it's running, it's hunting, it's in that kind of fight or flight, fast or feminine kind of environment. So how do you get rid of that? And I think what Joe's talking here is about, the solution to this is about living in the heart more than it is in the mind, in my opinion. So it's about, there's a big difference between, I know this is working out for me and I know this is going to happen, so I'm just going to do X, Y, Z, and doing it with this kind of peace of mind, which is what successful entrepreneurs can do, adds a lot of value, because now they're not operating from that kind of fight or flight. scenario. They're not running from anything. They feel comfortable. They know if they do X, Y, Z, that they're going to be able to perform. And I think if you take that into a sales environment, I see so many sales individuals where it's so difficult for them to let go because they've got their target and they start from zero every month. And so if your job's on the line and maybe you're on numbers that month or something, the pressure, but there's a massive difference between I know I'm going to hit my target. So listen, Mr. Buyer, I'd really want to help you, but if it's not for you, I don't care. Like, I mean, I can help you. It's very different to, Mr. Buyer, look, please, we've got this, 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 and this. So if you're starting out and you're in sales, you need to find a way, even if you are under pressure, to get into a space of it's all working out for me and I feel comfortable, because that comes across to your potential buyer and it brings them towards you. It actually works like a pendulum. It makes them swing towards you. They want what you have. When you push what you have, it makes them swing away from you because they don't want, they can smell the desperation. So it's a bit hard to take your foot off the accelerator. But what Joe's talking about here is, you'd have to be conscious. You'd have to be working on your mind and bringing that back to your heart space. Knowing is different to hoping, and just makes life a whole lot easier. So I think in entrepreneurs and sales, that's really important. It also removes this kind of buyer-seller dance that you're going to find, which is, people want you to send them some information after your meetings, and then, you don't really hear from them, or they're ghosting your emails, etc. When you don't care if they respond because you have something good, that kind of comes across and they come back to you, and it happens. When you know that you're going to reach the targets, they attract to you, things happen, things come out of the woodwork. And I really believe that. I really believe that sports people, for example, if you want to be a champion, there's visualization in there. They visualize winning the medal, and the medal attracts to them. You do have to put the hard work in, but this mindset thing is something that we're going to follow on this channel a lot because it's a really important part. Most of our viewers are going to be CEOs who, for the personal branding, they're going to be scale-ups for the kind of leadership and AI implementation. They're going to be startups for the AI apps and other marketing services, AI SEO within that. So all of the audience is probably going to be able to relate to that, where controlling the mind and bringing that back to the safe space. So I'm going to play a little bit more.
Even if it's uncomfortable, painful, and a horrific feeling, why do we go back into that feeling?
Because we don't believe there's anything in the future. If we knew that the best way to create a future really is to change your state of being, then you would have to manage your attention on that thought and have to say, is this thought actually the truth? And how long am I going to keep thinking this thought? And firing and wiring that circuit in the brain. So there's biology, because now it's an automatic program. It's a belief. Wow. A belief is just a thought you keep thinking over and over again until it becomes subconscious or unconscious. So to change then is to become so conscious of that unconscious thought, that unconscious belief, that it wouldn't slip by your awareness, unnoticed and checked. And now the body's in rehab because it's overdosed. It's been on a bad trip. And the body, which has been conditioned to be the mind, is 95% of who we are, right? By the time we're in the middle of our life. So there's David and Goliath. And the body's just saying, look, you think you've been making all your decisions your whole life? Actually, you haven't. The body has been making these decisions because it's the mind.
So in order to be successful in either entrepreneurship or sales, then we have to change the state of being. So we have to move into a space where we know and practice that intentionally. It's really difficult, as he says, because of the addiction to self-sabotage, the way we've been brought up through education systems, the not to believe. But you can have anything. If you can, there's sayings that I grew up with that I only really knew the power of over the last couple of years, which is, you can do anything if you put your mind to it, is one of the big ones. And that's absolutely true. If you can hold it in your mind, then you can hold it in your hands. The difficult task and the battle that you're going to go through if you're just starting up a business, or if you're a CEO that's realizing they have to do personal branding, or if you're a business that's trying to scale up from, a freelancer to a boutique lifestyle business, or from a boutique lifestyle business to a big business, crossing these grand canyons of death, then you've really got to believe in the future. There's a journey to go on there, and it's very easy to slip back into that self-sabotage thinking. And when you do this and you do it for a long period of time, I do this, I go to sleep to attract, to change my subconscious. I have for 2 years, and it really makes a massive difference. When I wake up in the morning, I do affirmations and meditation to get into that mindset. And the difficult task is holding it there. I think it took about 6 months of battling to get it there. It's just like if you go to the gym, you're going to find to get started is tough. To really believe in it is tough. But after 6 months, if you really commit to it, it becomes easy, it becomes a way of life. You fire and you wire, it becomes a habit. So that's the journey that I think you all need to go on in this journey of entrepreneurship or sales, if that's where you are. And it's about killing your old self. You should want people to say, my gosh, you've changed. You want people to say you've changed, because otherwise you just stay the same. You know, you've changed between 5 years old and 15 years old. You've changed between becoming an adult and getting your first job to what you know now. You've changed as an entrepreneur, as a salesperson. You want to change dramatically over the next year, and do it intentionally, and start following Joe Dispenza. I mean, he's absolutely fantastic for this.